This is how narcissists treat pets. Have you ever noticed how animals seem to have a special ability to offer us unconditional love and support, even in our darkest moments? But what happens when a narcissist enters the picture? Unfortunately, these individuals often treat animals just as poorly as they treat people. Today, we'll explore how narcissists treat pets, and what we can do to protect these innocent creatures from their harm. I believe that animals have an incredible ability to recognize and accept individuals for who they are, regardless of their appearance, background, or belief system. They offer us genuine emotional assistance without prejudice, and for that, we should consider ourselves undeserving. However, when it comes to narcissists, their interactions with animals are far from compassionate. Narcissists often view pets as objects to be used and manipulated for their own pleasure, rather than sentient beings with feelings and needs of their own. They may mistreat them by neglecting their basic needs for food, water, and attention, or by subjecting them to physical and emotional abuse. This not only harms the animals themselves, but can also have a significant impact on their owners, who may feel powerless to protect their beloved pets from harm. For those who have experienced narcissistic abuse, the mistreatment of pets can be particularly triggering. It may serve as a reminder of how the narcissist used and manipulated them for their own gain, without any regard for their well-being. Seeing a narcissist mistreat a pet can also be a red flag for others who may be in a relationship with the individual, as it demonstrates a lack of empathy and a willingness to harm those who are vulnerable. First, let's get down to brass tacks and define what narcissism actually is. Since I presume you already know about this disorder, I won't go into detail about it. Instead, I'll focus on one aspect, which facets of narcissism. Specifically, we're discussing a person who becomes a parasitic predator, taking advantage of the vulnerability of others, including animals, to feed their own inflated sense of self-importance, entitlement, and grandiosity. Due to their predatory tendencies, it's not uncommon for animals to become their prey. A narcissist's interactions with animals are always self-serving and never beneficial to the animal. There are two possible scenarios in which a narcissist may interact with a pet. First, the narcissist can form a distasteful attachment to the pet, viewing the animal only as a means to an end. They use the animal's loyalty and love to boost their own self-esteem. There is no genuine love, affection, or care in the relationship on the part of the narcissist. The narcissist may act as though they like the animal, giving it special treatment and treating it like a child, but in reality, the pet only serves to facilitate the narcissist's ego. The pet acts as a perfect source of supply, earning their love, respect, and obedience. Secondly, the narcissist may use the animal to vent their repressed emotions, treating the pet with disdain and brutality. They may take delight in hurting the animal and feeling superior to it in some way. Abuse of others is a common symptom of the narcissist's mental health problems, and this behavior is an extension of those abusive inclinations. Narcissistic people often put animals at risk because they see them as nothing more than a means to an end, satisfying their desires. An animal's life with a narcissist can be fraught with cruelty and mistreatment. Those of us who have survived narcissistic abuse would do well to study the strategies and habits of these predators so that we can better safeguard ourselves and any other helpless creatures. The dynamics at play can be explained using a dog as an analogy. A narcissist may exploit the extensive powers of a dog for their own benefit. However, when the animal strays from the predetermined course, the consequences may be disastrous. Dogs sometimes make mistakes, such as chewing on furniture, shredding paper, or defecating in inappropriate places, due to their lower intelligence compared to humans. Even though animals can be taught, accidents can still occur. The narcissist, however, doesn't give others the same courtesy. Any time an animal strays from its designated course, it is met with terrible repercussions. Screaming, yelling, physical abuse, seclusion, withholding of food and water, and other similar tactics are possible. They may force-feed the animal garbage, lock it up, and make it scream for the smallest possible break. But the narcissist is heartless in their treatment of animals, resorting to punishment and torture that only serves to highlight their hollowness. Therefore, I conclude that they are soulless. If you feel compassion for a defenseless creature that is trying to reach out for help, how can you then harm it on purpose because it didn't comply with your unreasonable demands, especially when it doesn't have the ability to do so? The narcissist desires the thrill of the pursuit, but is unwilling to take on the responsibilities of pet ownership. When a narcissist becomes attached to a pet, they may have very specific requirements for the animal's behavior. If the pet is unable to meet these standards, its value may be diminished, and it may even be put to death. Narcissists may also resort to physical violence, psychological torture, and the threat of abandonment by threatening to report the victim's pet to animal control if they do not give up the animal. Relationships flourish when both parties are willing to give and take. But when dealing with a narcissist, compromise is pointless. It is heartbreaking to witness such behavior. The narcissist's obsession with hunting is reflected in the way they treat their pets. They seek the emotional benefits of pet ownership without the responsibilities that come with it. Nonetheless, narcissists have a rigid idea of how their pets should behave. If the pet is not perfect, the narcissist may mistreat it, or even physically or emotionally abuse it. If the narcissist is in a relationship with someone who doesn't own the pet, things may still turn out just as badly. The narcissist may resort to abuse or pressure the pet's owner to give up the animal when confronted with a pet they don't want or like. This may entail throwing the animal out the window, tying it up, or otherwise causing it physical harm. Narcissists are incapable of experiencing the love and devotion of an animal because their lack of empathy prevents them from feeling any connection to anything other than themselves. The narcissist's jealousy of the owner's pet's affection for them can lead to further abuse and control, such as cutting off the owner's access to the pet, or even abandoning it in the cold. Have you encountered a similar situation? Your feedback is appreciated in the comments below. So, what can we do to protect pets from narcissistic abuse? It's important to be aware of the signs of mistreatment, such as neglect, physical harm, or emotional manipulation. If you suspect that a pet is being mistreated by a narcissist, it's important to report the behavior to the appropriate authorities, such as animal welfare organizations or law enforcement. It's also essential to support and believe individuals who report abuse, whether it's towards themselves or their pets. Narcissists often use gaslighting and other manipulative tactics to convince their victims that they are imagining or exaggerating the abuse, which can make it challenging for them to seek help. By providing a safe and supportive environment, we can help survivors to heal from the trauma of narcissistic abuse and to protect themselves and their pets from further harm. I hope you've learned something new from today's episode. If so, I'd appreciate it if you'd share this with your friends and leave a comment below. In the upcoming video, we will be able to talk more in depth. So, until then, let the healing begin.
The conclusion in this video, the behavior of narcissists towards animals and how it can affect the pets and their owners. The author believes that animals offer unconditional love and emotional assistance to people, but narcissists view them as objects to be used and manipulated for their own pleasure. They may mistreat them by neglecting their basic needs or subjecting them to physical and emotional abuse. Such behavior can trigger individuals who have experienced narcissist abuse, and it may serve as a red flag for those who may be in a relationship with the individual's narcissist may form a distasteful attachment to the pet, viewing it only as a means to an end, or they may use the animal to vent their repressed emotion. Treating it with disdain and brutality, the narcissist's obsession with hunting is reflected in the way they treat their pets. They seek the emotional benefits of pet ownership without the responsibilities that come with it. Narcissists put animals at risk because they see them as nothing more than a means to an end. Satisfying their desires, it is heartbreaking to witness such behavior. And those who have survived narcissist abuse should study the strategies and habits of these predators so that they can be better safeguard themselves and any others helps creators. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.